First tonight on News 3, a popular nature conservancy heavily damaged begins the long process of reconstruction.
And an update to Tuesday's storms. The National Weather Service now confirming 15, that's right, 15 tornadoes across the state.
Let me tell you something. He's turned into a little local diva. He thinks he's a celebrity and he's turned into a diva.
And find out the mission this little Pomeranian and his person are on to simply do something good for children in our community.
This is News 3 at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. The city of Madison says the threat for flooding isn't over.
Several road closures remain in effect. Additional flooding is possible on the isthmus as this situation now drags into its 10th day. City officials say an effort to manage the water level on Lake Mendota, the flow of water is being increased through the Tenney Dam, similar to last week, which led to some flooding across the east side.
The Pheasant Branch Conservancy in Middleton is destroyed, an estimated $2.5 million in damage.
And they think that number could change. Our Amy Reed toured the conservancy today. Amy?
Yeah, crews were here all day and all week to try and fix up the Pheasant Branch Conservancy. Now, this is a first step to normalcy, but getting there completely could take years.
The water is all the way up to where the path is.
Nick Herman saw the water from his backyard.
In my backyard, the water was up about 40, 50 yards, it appeared. And then I came down here and saw what I couldn't believe, especially this entire section of the conservancy gone.
It's a regular walking spot for him and his dog. But now the view he used to have is destroyed. Trees were ripped out and sent downstream. The railings on bridges crunched. Sand from the walls of the conservancy now sits in piles and carpets the paths.
There were a lot of sad faces last week when we first saw it. It's now, for the better part of a week, it's become a reality, and I think everyone's went into the mode of how we restore what's a loved treasure of the community.
A team that's done work on hurricanes and tornadoes now picks up the trees pulled out by water. The number of loads, they don't know, but it's work the city says needs to be done. The creek is also the city's main storm drain, needed to get water from the city out. The work to get the conservancy back to normal could take years, but the memories of what water did here last week will likely last a lifetime.
It's hard to believe how bad it was, especially on Tuesday morning when I was first down here and saw. It was like, wow, that's my backyard. It's kind of scary.
These are powerful images, but the city doesn't want you to come down here and check them out yourself. You can see they have it closed off because they say it's dangerous, not just with excavation crews, but they haven't been able to fully tell everything that's structurally sound down there. So for now, it's just best to stay safe and stay out.
Amy Reed in Middleton. Amy, thank you.
Sauk County is preparing for more flooding this weekend. They've already evacuated 25 people and expect that number to increase with another round of rain. County workers say they've already gotten anywhere from 10 to 20 feet of water in some parts of town, many areas inaccessible, others entirely submerged. The National Guard is in North Freedom filling up sandbags. Governor Scott Walker will be in Sauk County tomorrow to talk about the flood damage there. Today, he continued touring damaged areas. He was in Fond du Lac County. The National Weather Service says 15 tornadoes touched down during Tuesday's storm, the most powerful, an EF2 tornado in Brownsville in Dodge County.
Let's see what's in store for the rest of tonight. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is in the Weather Center. Gary?
Charlotte, things look pretty quiet for tonight. However, showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast for tomorrow, and especially later tomorrow night. We have alert days in the forecast for tomorrow night into Saturday. That's for a line of showers and thunderstorms that'll move through with the possibility for some heavy rain as well as high winds and the strongest storms. Those will linger into Saturday morning. Now, we're not looking for much rain during the day on Saturday, but areas that get rain overnight could be dealing with some flooding problems on Saturday. Flash flood watch in effect from 10 p.m. Friday night until 7 p.m. Saturday evening for areas north of Dane County. And as you take a look at Doppler track, things pretty quiet right now. A couple of showers and thunderstorms popped up north of the Twin Cities, but so far things are very quiet around here. Tomorrow, more thunderstorms will develop, but some severe from Minnesota into Iowa. Those will move eastward and weaken as they push into southern Wisconsin later on tomorrow night. Still a possibility for some strong winds and the strongest thunderstorms, and those will linger into Saturday morning over southern Wisconsin. But it's the rain potential that is high. We're waiting for the latest numbers to come in, but generally about 1 to 2 inches of rain expected over southern Wisconsin. Actually, there they go. They update there, and these are the very latest numbers. So about 1 inch to 2 inches, maybe some localized amounts over 3 or 4 inches in the heavier thunderstorms. High temperatures today, a little cooler, mid-70s, actually very comfortable around here. And current temperatures are in the 60s, a few places already in the upper 50s to our north and east. Dew point temperatures, though, are in the upper 50s to lower 60s, so temperatures won't fall too much more. And by tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to be down into the upper 50s. Tomorrow's high temperature at 76, the chance for some afternoon thunderstorms. That's your first alert forecast.
Thank you, Gary. A tractor trailer collided head-on with a passenger bus in New Mexico today near the Arizona border. Local hospitals are reporting at least 6 people were killed and more than 30 others injured. Greyhound says the bus was headed from Albuquerque to Phoenix with 49 passengers on board. Police say preliminary crash information indicates the semi blew a tire. Witnesses say it crossed the median and hit the bus head on. Vice President Mike Pence is in Milwaukee tonight supporting U.S. Senate candidate Leah Vukmir.
President Donald Trump also endorsed Vukmir after her primary win 2 weeks ago. The vice president has been making visits to Midwestern states to help raise money for Republican candidates. Earlier today, the vice president spoke at the American Legion 100th National Convention in Minnesota. Senator John McCain's flag-draped casket is now in Washington, D.C. He will lie in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda tomorrow. Earlier in the day, Arizona offered one final farewell to the senator who represented them in Congress for more than 3 decades. Former Vice President Joe Biden delivered the eulogy. He said his friendship with Senator McCain endured despite their political differences.
Rock County officials say there's a shortage of housing in Janesville. According to a new report from Realtor.com, the Janesville-Beloit area is the 12th hottest housing market in the entire country. Many people are now choosing to build their own homes due to the lack of options. In addition, city officials say there is a lack of downtown apartments, which they say are crucial for attracting young professionals.
We want to be as urban and as any other Midwestern community. We want to be able to retain talent, attract talent, so that our companies can continue to grow.
Downtown developers have been looking at the idea of building a 60-unit apartment complex, but that plan is still in the works. Madison area residents are back after a national event showcasing Olympic-style games from tennis to pickleball.
The competitors were young and old, but have one thing in common. A special gift is what's letting them compete in the first place. News 3's Madeline O'Neill tells us how.
I would always get so tired.
Getting out and moving has never come easily for 16-year-old Josh Garretts.
I'm left out because I can't keep up with other people, so then I'd kind of be a little disappointed about that.
What time is it?
Knowing Josh needed an organ transplant made his family's hearts drop.
It was just a matter of time.
But a phone call last October meant he was getting a new one.
Pretty scary, it really was.
Former farmer Mel Zeck can relate.
That was some of the worst times.
Because of his failing lungs in 2015, he received the same call as Josh.
Then I was out of breath from sheer panic and anxiety, so...
The gifts, a heart for Josh and a set of lungs for Mel, were a breath of fresh air.
I mean, I used to only go like a couple miles.
Taking them places they never thought possible, including to Utah this month for the Transplant Games of America.
I got 3 gold medals.
That's where Mel and Josh met, taking on events like running and tennis.
This was biking. I got a gold medal in that one.
Right? Turned into a big family out there.
They went along with nearly 60 others from Wisconsin, joining thousands of others from across the country as organ recipients competed.
This isn't some giveaway feel-good medal. These people are good.
Mel and Josh both say it's about more than the medals or even the games themselves.
If we didn't have any donors, we wouldn't have these games.
It's about expressing gratitude for the gift they've been given.
Without that, I'd be probably sitting in the chair somewhere,
While taking the new opportunity and running with it.
It feels good that I accomplished things that I wouldn't be able to do, but now I can.
In Madison.
What a gift.
Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
That's a great job. About 2,000 people in Wisconsin are waiting for a life-saving transplant.
More information on donating can be found at donatelifewisconsin.org. The next transplant games will be held in New Jersey in 2020. A new brewery is breaking ground on the south side of Madison. It's being called the Delta Beer Lab. Construction began this week on Badger Road. According to a release, they will serve scientifically based beers. 10 to 12 of them will be available on tap, and canned products will be available for purchase. Non-alcoholic options will also be available. Well, tomorrow is UW's first football game of the season.
And of course, there's always traffic on game day, a lot of it, but road closures because of the flooding and also construction might make things even worse. UW police encouraging everyone driving into Madison for the game to tack on an hour to their commute. Monroe Street down to one lane and one way, so that's not even an option when you're headed out after the game. If you're coming into the city from the east, be sure to check cityofmadison.com for all the road closures due to the flooding on the Isthmus. We also have some helpful links on our website, channel3000.com. And check this out. It is a new official limited edition bobblehead out today commemorating the Badgers' 2017 season. That's Bucky Badger holding a bucket of oranges for the Orange Bowl win and standing on a newspaper with the headline Lucky 13. Badgers win Cap's record-breaking season. It starts 2018 tomorrow night, so get ready. Still to come tonight, a look at your forecast, including what you can expect for tomorrow night's Badger game.
The kid will pick him up and he'll lay in their arms like a baby. And he makes no sound. He just do what you want.
And in a special Do Something Good story, find out how this dog is helping area kids learn how to read.
I have never claimed to be a literacy expert in any way. I think it's just a given that we all have the knowledge that reading is fundamental.
Welcome back. Literacy can open doors to endless possibilities.
Reading is important for so many reasons. It develops the mind, the imagination, and it's a way to learn new things. Well, knowing that not every child has the ability to read, a Madison woman and her dog found a way to help, to do something good for those who need it the most.
The great Dr. Seuss once wrote, "The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." And that's the message Leisha Terry tries to live out every week.
I am the book pusher.
This all began a few years ago when Leisha saw the results of Madison School's Race to Equity report showing 84% of black students in the 3rd grade were reading below grade level.
It really did start out with me being upset about the Race to Equity report.
So Leisha asked herself a question.
How can I help? How can I help these kids with their schooling and their education? Wow. I live in the community and I want to live amongst, in a community that's working for their kids here. These kids are going to grow up and run this community.
And out of that, this chapter of her life was born.
It's called Tales with Big T, and this is Big T who started it all.
Leisha did a lot of research and found out that children who are struggling to read will easily read to a dog than a human. Why? Well, the answer to that question is very simple.
Because this guy's not going to judge them.
Research that is proven right here, as children who might not be your typical bookworm can't seem to get their head out of a book in the company of this little Pomeranian, Big T.
She just sat down and read 3. She has severe ADHD. But when there's a dog around, she'll gladly sit and read 3 books in a row. So why are we not doing more of this,
Ask Leisha about this library of love that she created at Meadowood Park, and she'll be modest.
I'm not a nonprofit. I'm just the lady that loves kids and dogs.
But the lady who loves kids and dogs is not only providing a reading space, but a safe space as well.
A lot of kids in these neighborhoods that I go to have experienced some kind of trauma in their life. So just holding a dog and petting a dog, and to see that, it's good for your heart.
So maybe, just like reading, Leisha and her little dog can provide children not only with more education, but an escape into a magical world.
They just want to hang sometimes, and that's okay.
Leisha and Big T, thank you for doing something good. Well, as you heard in the story, Tales with Big T isn't a nonprofit. Leisha is doing this because she wants to. She has a traveling library with more than 100 books, all featuring a character of color, but she gives a lot of those books away. So please consider donating some books to this wonderful program. Leisha and Big T have a wish list, and you can find that on Amazon. Now, if you have a do something good idea to share with me, please send it at channel3000.com/do-something-good.
Gary Canalti joining us now with a look at the forecast. Big T probably watched that, looking for a good forecast for a good walk.
Yeah, and tomorrow will probably be okay during the day, but tomorrow night could be a different story. Let's first of all start out by just reminding you that we've got just another day left. If you're interested in sending in some pictures for the 2019 Wisconsin weather calendar, if you can send those in by email to weathercalendar@WISC-TV.com. That would be great. Send them horizontal in nature and as high resolution as possible, and they need to be in by August 31st. Now, we have alert days in the forecast for tomorrow night into Saturday. This is for a round of showers and thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain. Outside chance of an isolated severe thunderstorm with high winds being the main threat. Those should end Saturday morning, but flooding concerns could continue into the day on Saturday for areas that get heavy rain, especially if those occur in areas where we've already had excessive rainfall over the last few days. Flash flood watch has already been issued by the National Weather Service for areas north of Dane County, so including Sauk, Columbia, Dodge County, up into Marquette and Green Lake counties. That in effect from 10 p.m. tomorrow night until 7 p.m. on Saturday. 72-hour precipitation estimates, we can clearly see the area of most concern. That's the area that's been hit hard over the last few days. 5 to 10 inches of rain or more in a band west to east running from just south of La Crosse to just north of Milwaukee, but the rest of southern Wisconsin still picked up a couple of inches of rain. Of course, parts of western Dane County, areas around Watertown within the last week and a half have also had excessive rainfall. Doppler track right now, very quiet around here. Just a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms north and west of the Twin Cities. But tomorrow we'll see strong to severe thunderstorms develop, probably from just west of the Twin Cities down to around Des Moines, Iowa. Those will move eastward, high winds, hail being the main threats there. And then as those storms move into southern Wisconsin, it'll be later on at night. So the atmosphere a little bit more stable. So the severe weather threat diminishes to just a marginal risk of an isolated severe thunderstorm with high winds being the main threat. But rainfall could be an issue, at least into parts of Saturday. And you can see even on Saturday, that marginal risk for severe thunderstorms over far southern Wisconsin for any lingering storms lingering into the morning hours. General rainfall in the 1 to 2 inch range across southern Wisconsin. Localized amounts could be in the 3 to 4 inch range in the heavier thunderstorms. Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, boy, you can see the lights reflecting off of Lake Mendota, and those water levels are high. High today 74, the low 53, and right now we're at 63 degrees with mostly clear skies. Need some more dry weather. Flash flood watch again in effect north of Dane County from late tomorrow night into Saturday evening. Look for a low of 58 tonight with partly cloudy skies. For tomorrow, look for variably cloudy skies. It'll be breezy. Chance of a few thunderstorms in the afternoon, mainly north of Madison with a high of 76. On future track, pretty quiet for tonight. Low temperatures upper 50s. Tomorrow you can see just a chance of a shower or thunderstorm north of Madison, highs mid 70s. Tomorrow night, that's when that area of showers and thunderstorms comes through into early Saturday morning. Low temperatures in the upper 60s. Most of the day on Saturday should be pretty dry, maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm. High temperatures upper 70s to around 80. But again, those rainfall amounts, and you add them up, could end up in the 1.5 to 2 inch range. And as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, you'll see those temperatures remain in the 80s for much of next week with a fair amount of humidity. That means almost a daily chance of thunderstorms until we get toward the end of the week. So a little drier air as we head toward the following weekend, but we need more dry days in there and less rain.
We sure do. Gary, thank you.
You're welcome.
Badger football team a day away from its regular season opener. The story coming up in sports.
Packers are playing their final preseason game in Kansas City tonight. It's an important game for players on the roster bubble. The final cuts are coming by 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. In the game, the Chiefs lead the Packers 33-21. Deshaun Kaiser has a touchdown pass. Tim Boyle has a touchdown pass. Aaron Jones has a touchdown run for Green Bay. Next up, the regular season opener Sunday night, September 6th against the Bears at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers didn't even have to travel to Kansas City for tonight's final Packers exhibition game. He was in Green Bay counting his money after getting that 4-year, $134 million contract extension yesterday. Today, Rodgers talked about his new deal and how it sends a real signal to the rest of the Packers players.
All it really does is just solidify my standing as a part of the future of this football team. And I think that just gives me even more clout and respect in the locker room with the guys knowing that I'm committed and the team is committed to me for a number of years now. This shows through this contract that there is a lot of mutual love and respect and excitement about keeping this partnership together and, doing something that I think is pretty cool, the opportunity to start and finish your career as a Packer.
The Brewers won their series in Cincinnati today with a dramatic 2-1 win in 11 innings. The winning run came off the bat of Lorenzo Cain, who hit this solo homer off the top of the left field wall to give Milwaukee that 2-1 win. The Brewers play in Washington tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the Cubs won their makeup game in Atlanta tonight, 5-4. The Badger football season opener is tomorrow night at Camp Randall at 8 when Wisconsin hosts Western Kentucky. Almost the entire starting unit of the Badgers offense is back from last season. But on defense, little different story. Ryan Connolly, T.J. Edwards, Olivier Sangapolu, and Dakota Dixon are back. But the rest, new faces and new places. Tomorrow night will be quite a first test for that young group, even though they're playing in front of the home folks.
We have to know how to, process information quickly and communicate when it's loud. The beauty is we're at home playing in front of 80,000 people, but that does present some challenges for a defense in communication. So just trying to put our guys in as many situations as possible this week and get them ready for it. And we've really been doing it all training camp.
And it's the season opener in Minnesota tonight. But wait, why are the Gophers wearing white uniforms at home? Well, at the end of last season, New Mexico State gave their departing seniors their road uniforms to keep, and the new replacement uniforms aren't in yet. So the Gophers played gracious host and said, we'll wear white at home. Freshman quarterback Zach Annexstad did Tyler Johnson for the first touchdown of the season. White fits the Gophers well, although they should never really wear white after Labor Day, right? Final score, Minnesota 38, make it 48, and New Mexico State 10. We'll be right back. And after we tell you that also Northwestern is leading at Purdue late in the fourth quarter in West Lafayette. As I said earlier, we'll be right back.
Flash flood watch in effect for areas north of Dane County tomorrow night into Saturday for the potential for maybe a couple more inches of rain late Friday night into Saturday morning. So keep an eye on that.
And Gary, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.